and last night the Toronto Maple Leafs with Thomas Plekanec. And here's the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Lou Lamoriello, who joins us now. Lou, how close were you to pulling off another deal today?
Well, you know, what is the definition of close? If something doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But we're extremely pleased with Thomas Plekanec and also the way our team has played. You know, we're happy with this group.
Lou, there seems to be a pretty good battle in the Atlantic with Tampa Bay and Boston. We saw those two teams I just mentioned make significant moves. You, of course, got Thomas Plekanec. But is there a feeling now that you can compete against Tampa Bay and Boston in the playoffs?
Well, we feel that we can compete with anyone. I think that the improvement in our group as the year has progressed has just been outstanding. So that's our feeling. And once again, you know, there has been a plan set in place here, and we did not want to deviate it from it. And you know, we're just going to keep going on the direction that we've been set out to do.
Lou, you've been through a lot of trade deadlines in your time. Was there anything in particular about this one that separated from other ones you've been in? I mean, there seem to be so many players out there that seem to be available. A lot of first rounds went out in this one. Just yourself personally, anything you saw different in this day?
No, I don't think there was anything different. The question was asked to me a little earlier. And where I did have a surprise is, you know, how many first-round picks, you know, were out there. But I think that just goes to show you where the league is right now as far as win today and how important it is. And I think the parity makes everyone feel that they have an opportunity to win. And I think that's great. That's what the league wanted, and that we have right now.
You got the sense that it was an expensive trade deadline day. That's what it seemed, seemed like to us.
I think that the prices, I'm sorry, but I think the prices were high. But what is the definition of high? If it helps your team have success, like all trades, they really can't be valued until, you know, the end result happens. I've been through it where we've made some decisions and, you know, things worked out extremely well. And then, you know, where it did not work out. I think what you have to do is make every decision off doing your homework. And then once you go forward, it's not a mistake. It just didn't work out, whether it be the way your team was playing as a group or, you know, no matter what it might be. But right now we're happy. And I think that's all we're concerned about. Whatever else people do, you know, we really can't control, nor should we worry about.
Lou, the prevailing wisdom this year was that you would add a defenseman at some point during this season leading up to the trade deadline. Did Travis Dermott change your mind about that with his play coming up from the Marlies?
Well, there's no question that when Travis came in, you know, I don't think he was a surprise to any of us. You know, certainly, you know, our Marlies staff was very, very high on him. We've all had the opportunity to see him here, and he could have been brought up a lot sooner than he was. And in fact, you know, we brought him up as late as we could. I mean, he forced us to get him here with his play, and he didn't disappoint anyone. So that was certainly something that was behind all our minds, you know, when we were thinking about how we could get better. So there's no question that he entered into the equation.
Lou, throughout the day we had heard that you guys were in on McDonough, and I know that you don't necessarily want to comment on that, but is it to the point where you look at your organization and say, and Darren mentioned Dermott, that you have to look within your organization, know exactly what you have before you can go to the trade market and make a significant trade for a player of McDonough's caliber?
Well, first of all, you always evaluate what you have and what you can really give up, because every decision you make is not only for today but for tomorrow. So all those evaluations were made. You know, if we could have done something to improve ourselves, we would have. You know, McDonough is an outstanding player. He's going to be a tremendous addition to Tampa. But we're extremely pleased with our team, as I've said, quite often.
Are your expectations different this year than last year after this trade deadline going into the playoffs?
Well, I think our expectations are always high. We're an organization that really wants to compete against ourselves to be the best we possibly can. I've said all along, in my mind, we have the best coaching staff in the National Hockey League, and the development of our young players has just been outstanding. And it's important for them to just keep growing, getting more experience, and to surround them with veterans who not only can lead them as far as how to be professionals, how to prepare, but also can play. And I think that we've had some outstanding veterans here who are having, great years, and it's important for us to make sure we stay on this course.
Lou, I know it's been a long day for everybody, long weekend for you guys in the hockey operations department, but thanks for taking the extra time for us.
You're welcome.